The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform.
Aloha, and welcome to another episode of Classic Car Chronicles, the story behind the rides. Today, we have a 1967 Chevy Camaro SS with its owner, Dan Levitz. Aloha, Dan.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, and this is a great car.
Thank you.
So, 67 Camaro.
67.
Okay. So, why a 67 Camaro?
Well, actually, the car I had when I was young was too big for my garage, and I always liked these, so I bought one.
So, you had another Chevy. You like Chevys, right?
I do.
Yeah. Chevy's more
63 Impala.
Impala, but not with the 409, with the 327.
It's a 327 4-speed.
Okay. So you sold that.
I sold that when I was doing my remodel. It actually was being stored for years.
Okay.
And I sold it just because I was making somebody uncomfortable.
Okay. Do you consider you considered yourself at that time a car guy though, right? I mean, you loved cars.
That car had a bar with running water in it. That was all cut.
A bar with running water.
And a 6-speed blender.
Okay. Oh, wow. That must have been fun at
Show you pictures sometime.
There you go. Okay. So you sold that and then you found this 67. Where did you find this car?
On eBay.
On eBay. I'm running into a lot of these guys that everything is online, eBay or just looking around. And so you found this on eBay. Was it in the same area that you were, or were you here, or?
No, it was in St. Louis.
St. Louis. And you were at that time, you were in California, or you were here?
Here.
You were here. Okay. Yeah. You've been here.
Since 87.
Yeah. Okay. So you found this car on eBay. Did you go over to see it, or?
If I had, it wouldn't be sitting here.
Okay. So you bought it sight unseen, but it wasn't looking like this when you bought it.
Actually, I lost the bid.
Oh.
And 2 weeks later, it showed up again for sale.
Okay.
And I bought it for less than that guy did.
But it didn't look like this.
Externally, yes.
Oh, so.
Oh, it didn't have the wheels or anything. No,
okay.
It was this color.
Okay. So you brought it here, and when you got it, you said, oh my gosh.
Yes. I rolled it back to wash it. When I finished washing it, I drove it in the garage, and it felt like I ran over a beer can that was full or something. Bounced. And I walked back, and there was a flattened pyramid of rust.
Wow.
Coming from the left rear fender well.
Okay, so at that point, you had to really figure out what you were going to do as far as restoring it.
Well, I didn't know how much it needed. I just knew it was dropping rust right there. And I actually looked underneath, and there was a piece of tin that was rolling back, and I yanked on it. It was it was black. I pulled it back, and it was a Ditzler paint can somebody had glued to the fender well. So I pulled the tire off, and I could see all the way in.
Okay.
It's all stalactites.
So let's talk about the restoration. Did you do it at a shop? Did you do it at home?
It was done in my garage.
In your garage. So you were able to get it set up, and then you tore it all down.
Well, I went over and talked to a windshield guy about, it looked like it had BB in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you have to replace the windshield. Before you do, you have to replace that dashboard, because that's where the windshield seals. It was rusty. And he gave me the name of a guy. His name was Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over there, and he said, yeah, we can fix this thing.
Okay, so tell me about the teardown. What is it that you had to remove from the car before you could put it back? And
By the time we got it down, the driver's side floors were gone. The rocker on the left side was gone, so the car was separated. There is no frame under it.
right,
So the front and back were completely separated. And actually, we put the floor down first before we pulled the rocker, just to try to keep some stability. And of course, the windshield had to come out, the dash had to come off, everything came off.
now you had a hand in this restoration.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he showed me how to remove all the stuff. I wasn't going to weld it, he was going to put it back together.
You're more of a do-it-yourself,
Oh, absolutely.
and you're and I've seen stuff that you've done, and this car is one of them, and it's really a very excellent job, very, very beautiful. But so when you took all that apart, you had to also like you said, you removed the dash.
Remove the dash, remove the floors, move the left side of the trunk, move the left rear fender well. That was all taken out.
And you had to do body work or replace. Did you get replacement?
Got replacement parts. One of the problems we had is the rocker on the left side. At the time, they did not make. They made it for a hardtop, but not a convertible.
So you had to fabricate
We
one?
had to re-engineer it. Yes,
okay.
I bought 2 of the hardtop ones, and we put them together. And then, of course, Wayne shaped everything. I think he pulled that inner door area where the door mounts came out of a Ford pickup. And he just cut it out of there. He had one sitting around. So cut it out of there and just cut this out.
Okay, so how long did that take, that process?
Well, I used the car on Valentine's Day, took my wife out, and we came back, and the next morning it was lifted up in the air, and it came down, I think in July.
So that's not too bad. That's actually
No, and then it went to Wayne's house.
Oh, how long did it stay there?
Took it apart again. It stayed there for a month.
Oh, okay. Well,
So-
that's pretty
No,
good.
well,
we're
I
not
worked on
talking
it every
years.
No,
We're not talking years. We're talking months. That's not too bad.
worked on it every day, and once a week that 40-pound trash can went out full of rust.
So once it was done, your friend Wayne painted the car?
He wouldn't let me be there. He didn't want me to know where the separation was.
Right. And was it the same color, or
Oh yeah, no, it's the same color.
everything's the same? So you just made it look like it did when you bought it, but just now with everything repaired.
Yeah, that was all repaired.
And so you put new rims and tires on it.
Well, what happened is the steering was so loose that I decided to put a rack and pinion in. I met somebody that had just done that. And when I went to do that, they said it would not handle any differently unless I replaced the upper ARs. So I replaced those too. Well, that took the big tires that were on there and it made them rub against the inner fender well.
Okay.
So I looked for tires with a smaller profile.
All right. Well, they still look good.
Oh, yeah, it's a 17-inch wheel instead of
Yeah.
a 14.
Okay. And so tell us a little bit about the engine.
The engine I bought from a guy that I was doing a job for. I was a plumbing contractor. And first he told me he had this engine and he came out of a 66 Chevy wagon,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple kids built it.
Oh.
And then both of them ended up having to get married and sell the car.
Oh.
So he bought the car and brought it here. And he had it here about a month. And he came home with it one day, opened the driver door, and it fell off. So he took the car in and had the engine and transmission rear end removed.
And you picked it up.
Well, it was in pieces. I didn't really know what it was.
Oh.
You know, he went to bring it home and it was too heavy for his S10. It dropped it on the tires. So he had him take it apart. He brought it home in pieces. And then it sat for about a year. No covers, no nothing. And one day he called and he said, I think I'm going to sell it. I'm too old to build it over. That's what he was going to do with it. So I bought it.
Nice. And so I ask everybody this. I know you're part of the Paradise Cruisers and Kona Hot Rods, and so do you drive often or whenever the weather's good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to drive a lot more than I do. I went through a health issue that I had no right arm for a while.
Okay. So when
This is a 5-speed.
you have an opportunity, it's on the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
still
good.
drive it.
I mean, we've talked about it with everybody that, these cars are made to drive, not sit, right? So I'm glad that you get it out. And actually, I know that you do car shows,
Oh, yeah.
and you've actually taken first place in some of these.
It's best of show.
Yeah. So this is really this is a show car, and yet you drive it on the road, and you maintain it beautifully. I mean, it's always immaculate.
Yeah. Well, I don't take it out unless it's clean.
Yeah. So that's good.
It'll sit and get dusty.
All right. So, wow. So it is okay. So the convertible top worked.
Oh, yes. Convertible top is wireless remote, so I can fold it.
That's the other thing. You're an electronic wizard. You like to fiddle with electronics.
I do. I play.
And you've got some. Tell us about the little gadgets you have in this car, as far as the lights and.
I actually held a patent that was issued to me in 1967, which is a manual shift indicator. Most cars have them now, and it's in this car. But I put that in. The taillights are probably the most significant because in 2008 I decided I wanted something fancy with LEDs. And I was at Hot August Nights. I went to their swap meet, and they had all kinds of them, but nothing I could alter.
Right.
So I decided that possibly I might be able to build them myself.
Which you did.
Took a year.
Okay.
And yes, and I had circuit boards made for it. I actually have some of my own circuit boards that are folded together because I couldn't get them long enough. But none of them worked until, not this set. This is a third generation that's been in the car.
So electronic problems you're able to troubleshoot, repair.
Yes.
And I know that you help a lot of people in the clubs, and you've helped me, and I appreciate that. I mean, it's always good to have somebody belong to a club and have people have certain expertise that they can help others, and you do that, and I appreciate that. I'm sure everybody in the club appreciates that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I enjoy doing it, and very few people want to tackle wiring.
Yeah, and they're afraid that something's gonna like fry.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
it. Kind of comes natural to me, so I help when I can.
Okay. So I think we should go out and take a ride.
It sounds like fun.
And depending on the weather, top up or top down, we'll see. Depending, how the weather goes here. But we'll go take a ride. And thank you so much for coming and sharing your car with us.
Thank you.
And we'll go take a ride and see how that goes.
The 1967 Chevy Camaro SS is a true American classic, marking the debut of Chevy's answer to the widely popular Ford Mustang. The SS Super Sport trim was the performance-oriented package equipped with either a 350 cubic inch V8 or an optional monstrous 396 cubic inch big block delivering up to 375 horsepower. Paired with a range of transmission options including a 4-speed manual, the SS was built to deliver power and speed with a thrilling driving experience. Distinguishing features of the SS included bold striping, a simulated vented hood, and the iconic SS badging, making it stand out on the road. Whether cruising the streets or tearing up the drag strip, the 1967 Camaro SS remains a symbol of Chevy's muscle car legacy and a favorite among collectors and enthusiasts alike. With its timeless design and raw performance, it continues to capture the hearts of automotive fans around the world.
And there you have it, another episode of Classic Car Chronicles, Story Behind the Rods. Till next time, aloha.